Looks like it's back to the books. Hope you had a great new year. Today we are going to talk a little bit about percentages. So if you'd grab a piece of note paper, you'll become much smarter and much wiser today than you ever dreamed you could ever be. So hopefully, let me fire this up here. So again, we are talking about percents, everybody's favorite. Not sure where the purple came from, but let's change that right now. And the little subheading, I guess, will be word problems. And I'm going to start off with this. Let's say the problem is this: 25% of 20 is what number? Now, back in the day, ladies and gentlemen, and you can feel free to do this here, we would make a percent box or ratio box, which is the same thing. Sometimes it's good to think about percents as fractions, ratios, whatever. It's all the same kind of deal. It's all tied into thing. And we would do this. Okay, you go, here's your box, chink, chink, chink. And for this one, you know, we made this one side percent. This is the actual number. You know, this would be your total percent, which is always 100%. You know, this is kind of your part. What percent am I looking for? I'm looking for 25%. And I know that I want 25% of 20. So the 20 is how much total number I have. So it goes with 20, and here's my ratio box, and I would do this, and okay, 100 divided by 5 is 20, and 25 divided by 5 is 5. So my answer would be 5. Now that's all well and good, but as you get older, you kind of look for some little shortcuts and some other things to do things just a little bit easier. And I would tell you, as you proceed in your mathematical lives here, this probably will get you there with a little bit quicker, where you don't have to do quite as much gobbledygook over here. And again, we've talked about this numerous times here, but in math, it's always good if you think about the word of as being the same as a, I guess of is multiplication. And the word is an equal sign. And if you change those two words and make them mathematical symbols, you end up with 25%. Gosh, 25% times, the word of is times 20 equals what number? So here again, really all you need to do is this. Okay, and remembering that we don't do mathematical operations in percentage form. We need to change that to either a fraction or a decimal. I would change it to a decimal, 0.25, and you're just going to multiply that by 20. And 0.25 times 20. You get 500, but you have 2 decimal places, so your answer is 5. Now, sometimes, you know, when you get maybe confused, it's better to use this percent box. But really, for the most part, you can just look at your equation like this and get your answer, because you only have 2 options. Well, you have 3 options. If you're given an equation like this, okay, either you're missing the what number part, or you're missing the of part, or you're missing the percent part. And those are your only 3 options. So let me give you another example here. You find one out of the book, so at least makes some sort of sense here. What number is 125% of 48? No, I'm not going to do that one. Let's do a different one. Well, yeah, most of the time, ladies and gentlemen, I guess I will do that one. Most of the time, you are going to be given what number is. Let me scroll down here a little bit. You know, it's hard getting back in the groove of things, so if I seem a bit disheveled. So what number is 125% of 48. So again, there you can see what number, that's what you don't know, that's your x or whatever, and is equals 125% of is times 48. And then bam, just make this a decimal. 1.25 times 48 equals some number. You're gonna make me do that long math. Hopefully I have it in me here. 8 times 5 is 40. 16 plus 4 is 20. 8 plus 2 is 10. Bring down to 0. 4 times 5 is 20. Carry the 2, 8, 10, 4, 5. And hopefully we know my answer is not 6,000. There's 2 decimal places there. Your answer is 60, which makes sense because if I have more than 100% of the number, I'm going to get a bigger number. Okay, now the one thing I did want to fire up a new screen here. You have to be careful because that's 80% of missing number fraction decimal percent problems are like that. But sometimes you're giving this. How about this one? Straight out of the book. 59. This is the one you have to watch. 59.5 is what percent of 17? Okay. Now, before you start this, ladies and gentlemen, one thing to note here is your answer needs to be a percent. You're looking for a percent. So when you do all the math here, you're going to get a whole number. You're going to get a decimal or something that needs to be changed into a percent because you're not going to get a percent right off the bat. But if we write this out as an equation, it looks like this. 59.5 is, I need a percent here. What percent of 17? So there's my equation. P times 17 equals 59.5. And I solve this just like every other equation. How do I get rid of this 17 over here? I divide by 17. And I divide by 17. Now note, if it would ask me what fraction, 59.5 is what fraction of 17? Here's my fraction, but it's not. I need to make this into a percent. I need to actually do the division on this. So it's off to the side here, 59.5 divided by 17. And again, remember my answer is not in percent form yet. This is just going to be a decimal number. 17 goes into 59. What? Let's bring the decimal up here. 3 times is 51. I bring down 7 goes into 85. Boom, 5 times, and that's 85 exactly. I get no remainder. So if you would write down 3.5, ladies and gentlemen, I would have to mark that wrong because that is not the answer. Okay, I need to make this a percent. And how do I change 3.5 into a percent? Well, if you think about it, the number 3 is 300%. Remember, to change these 2%, you move the decimal to the right 2 places. It is 350%, which makes sense because 59.5 is bigger than 17, so it's going to be more than 100%. Okay, so like I was telling you before, when you have these percent equations, you're either going to be missing this number, or this number. Okay, if you're missing this number, it's always simply multiplication with these 2 numbers. If you're missing either one of these 2 numbers, it's always, you are going to be dividing to get back over there. So hopefully that helps you and gets you to wherever you're going to go. If you take your time and think about this, really, it is not that terribly bad. So thank you for stopping by today. I think we'll see you in a couple days, face to face, back the way school should be. Have yourself a great, great day.